Okay. I'm nervous. Okay, so they just text me to say they're ready to come on in, and boy, are my nerves shot. Where is that? Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Can you hear
Hi,
me?
Yolanda.
Hello, Dr. Schumann, Dr. Kennard, Dr. Town.
How are you?
I'll be better in a few minutes. My nerves are really on edge right now, but I'm good.
Take two deep breaths. You're gonna be fine.
Okay, that's the hope.
Uh-huh.
So we're going to start. We're going to start on this with just a little. I'm going to kind of clock you here about a 2-minute overview summary of what your project was. Just really short, kind of let everybody's thinking get the same direction as yours.
Okay, begin. So my project was about taking a group of millennials and teaching them um, the missional message. And the hope was to teach them the missional message in that they would be so impacted that they would embrace the missional message and then live missionally more than just the traditional way of worshiping and serving God that I've noticed at our church for the last 2.5 years. So the project consisted of what I would call my idea. And let me get my notes, y'all. My idea was mental models to change them. Why was why questions to understand them. That the I is incorporate learning to teach them. The D was design ministry to reach them. E was envision millennials doing the greater works of Christ. And finally, A was acclimate them into the Fountain of Praise ministry in a way that they can give leadership with a missional model and help the church move from the traditional trajectory that we're now in, well, we're in before this project.
Very good. Obviously, the time limit. Very proud of you.
Yay.
What we'll do is just open it up for questions from the committee about your project, and we'll just let you answer that.
Okay.
So, first question.
Yeah, I'll jump in, Yolanda. I'm curious. So what's maybe 2 or 3 big things that you learned about millennials?
The big things that I learned about millennials, looking at the state of the church before the project, I was convinced that they were just uninterested in church, that they just didn't want God or organized religion. But the research and then working with them helped me to see that millennials are very much spiritual. They want God, they want to serve God, but they don't want to be forced to do it the way it has already been done or always been done. I learned that about them. Two, I learned that they are willing to support wherever they feel important. If they feel a part of it, then they're going to support it 100%. And then three, I learned that millennials are a lot less judgmental than older generations of believers.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Good.
Okay.
Cool.
And maybe capitalizing on that, through this process, what did you personally learn about yourself?
I learned that although my desire was to teach them how to live missionally, I had a lot to learn because I was very much guilty of a traditional way of practicing my faith for the most part. I knew in my head cognitively that that living my faith was more than just within the church walls. But as I looked at my life daily, I was learning that I waited to do missional work with the church and not necessarily every day because I am the church.
Yeah. And what you learned, Yolanda, about leadership and millennials, did you learn anything different? I mean, as you apply it to millennials, I'm just curious as to what you learned there.
But the first thing I learned is that you just can't tell them what to do.
Okay.
You have to allow them to think independently and to first of all comprehend the project, comprehend what we're trying to do, and then allow them the leverage or the leeway to do it. And for me, that's what leadership is. It's not always just being out front, but being such a leader that you can from the back also steer them in the direction and then learn when it's time for them to lead you as well.
Mm-hmm.
So for the group of millennials that you had working with you, what did you find were the most effective experiences or tools to for them to cultivate that sort of life transformation?
Prior to the whole project, basically I would stand in front of the class and I would teach, and at the end ask questions. And I thought that was effective, but that was so not the best approach. And so I learned that they've got to be engaged. They want to be engaged. They want to, I think I lost your question somewhere in my explanation. They want to be engaged. They need to talk. They need to be able to communicate what they believe and not just regurgitate, I guess, what I speak to them.
Mm-hmm.
Did I answer your question, Dr. Kennard?
Yeah, you did. And so was it kind of a corporate decision they made, or was it that as they got engaged, they saw personal routes for each of them, and maybe they were different, or what?
I think let me give an example. Specifically the lesson that I was teaching on missional, because I know from our faith tradition, no one actually sat down and taught us less than Nubian's idea of missional or just missional concept, period. We learned things at Sunday school and you know, about the Great Commission, but no one actually talked to us about the missional per se. And so in that particular class, although I had the history, although I had the facts that they didn't have, allowing them to read information that I wrote and then to talk about how they have seen or witnessed that concept already at play in society was effective. I think because it helped them to see that I was not just giving them something new, but they were also adding to this new direction that I was hoping to take them.
At what point in the project did you kind of see them come alive? I would imagine they started naturally with, okay, I'm going to do this, I know what to expect. But you see them kind of, you got it, go ahead.
The first part of the project, when I was just assessing them and doing the pre-assessment evaluation, the pre-assessment tool with the praise party. Of course, they were engaged because it was their genre of music. It was just, you know, not church stuff. And so they were very engaged at the beginning, but in part of the, somewhere in, but I think maybe midway toward the Bible studies that I was teaching on Tuesdays and Thursdays, because I was not just standing in front of the class teaching a curriculum, but just throwing out questions, I saw how engaged they were, so much so that I would have to end the class early because they would take the conversation and just run with it. And so for me, just not standing in front of them, but having a round table, or, you know, just sitting informally in the classroom, just talking was the eye opener for me, that they needed to feel like they were as much a part of this learning process as I felt like I was the teacher and they were just the students. So I guess midway in the teaching the curriculum was when I saw that they had bought into what I was trying to share.
And did some of their natural giftedness start taking over at that point?
Completely, yeah. And that's when I also learned that I'm quite traditional, because I wanted to shut them down and say, listen to me, I have the answers. I'm the teacher here. I'm the Dr. Schumann. I'm the Dr. Town. But so, yeah, it was a give and take sort of atmosphere.
You may have answered this in one of the other questions, but I want to ask it in this way, Yolanda. So you started out, one of your goals was to help change the mental model.
Mm-hmm.
What you learn about changing mental models of millennials?
I think first of all is they have to see a need for change. Not that I see that they need to change, but I had to show them that there was a need for change. And one of the key things that helped me to be successful at that was to just ask questions about how many people do you see in this congregation that's your age who are not active in ministry. When we have an event, we get 20 people, but we have a large church, and you know, a great percentage of our congregants are your age. So why do you think they're not engaged? And so when they would answer those questions, then I was able to say, well, maybe it's not because we're not doing effective ministry, but maybe we need to do ministry in a way that would excite them so that they want to be engaged. And so what I said to them is, if we continue doing ministry the way we have been doing ministry, our ministry is going to die. You know, we can't continue the way we're doing, because although we're excited as leaders and we're putting together events, they are not coming. You're coming because you're committed. You're coming because you're leaders. But if you're tired of spinning your wheels only to get 35 people, when we have a good 3,000 young adults at least, then we've got to do things differently. So.
And were you successful in helping them change their minds?
I think to some degree,
okay.
Yes.
Okay, good.
And I know that the project completed a little while ago for you to do all the write-ups.
Right.
What's continued with this group since then?
It's been hard to just continue because we have not yet been back in the church walls. So last Sunday was our first day back, but only 400 people were, you know. But what the new thing that has evolved is that we have more young adults who are, well, not more. We have started small group Bible studies, small group topical lessons that are led by millennials. And so that's new. And so they are not just, what do you call it? They're not just searching the net, but they're actually engaging in the small group Bible studies that we have online for their age groups. And that's new and exciting.
And how do the more traditional groups, the older groups, the people who like it the way it was, what's been their response to the project?
The response has been that they are being a part of those small group Bible studies as well. Hitherto, we've had a noon Bible study and an evening Bible study, and you were just a part of one of those Bible studies. And in fact, the noon Bible study was called Senior Adult Bible Study. So the young adults would either be in Bible study in the evening time or, you know, just not come to Bible study. But now we have incorporated small group Bible studies that are led by young adults and as well as some other adults. And so the young adults are being a part of those small group Bible studies different days of the week and different times of the day.
So it's more of an intergenerational approach to ministry.
Yes.
Other questions?
Okay, we're done.
Okay.
I'll ask one more. So through the whole process of your DMin work, what's one big, huge thing that you've learned? Like a really big rock of learning for you?
About the whole project or about myself personally?
Anything, I don't care.
I guess the biggest thing that I've learned, and I guess this is about myself personally in the ministry, is that ministry is shared. That Jesus came to give us salvation, but in training his disciples, he was teaching them and us that ministry is shared. It's not just one person telling us what to do and you get it or you don't, but ministry is shared. And ministry is not making people follow me, but living what I believe so that they want to follow me, and also me being open enough to learn something from them, because ultimately the missional message is not just about going somewhere and doing something, but it's about being in the midst of whoever you are, whether they believe the way you believe or not.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I like that word.
Would you say that would you feel like you're a more healthy participant in the community as a result of the program that you've been in and the focus? And if so, how do you see that happening?
This program from the day that I got into the DMin program, May 2017, has totally not totally, but has had a great impact on my personal mental model. It has helped me develop as just a believer and a child of God, especially now when we are in this climate of gross disrespect for other people, gross racism and division. This whole process has helped me to understand that I've just got to live my faith, love God, and allow God to lead me, to use me, and then just to love people where they are and for who they are. I don't know. And before May 2017, I could not honestly say that I was okay. I could be okay being a Christian in the presence of people who didn't think the way I thought or serve the way I serve. But this process and this journey has helped me to mature and to love God all the more, so much so that I love people who hate me. And I can say that I love people who hate me, and it's because my love for them has nothing to do with how they treat me, but how God loves me. And that's what he has impressed upon my heart through this whole program. He has changed my mental model, and my responsibility as his disciple, as his follower, is just to live what I believe with all my heart and allow other people to glean from that, or or not.
Wonderful.
Mhm.
Okay, we're going to ask you to just push the leave button, leave the meeting, and then we're going to talk a few minutes, and then I'll text you again to have you come back and join us.
Okay, so when I press leave, you won't hear me scream, right? I will be off.
Right.
Not as long as you don't scream too soon.
Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2. Thank you, Lord. Mm-mm-mm. Y'all ready? Yeah, I'm waiting. They're deliberating. They're talking. They're conversing. I don't know how you feel about what you just heard. I feel relieved. I say this to people all the time. I am not a public speaker, although I went to school many years and taught and and studied speech communication because before the Lord called me to preach, my desire was to be an elementary school teacher, and my minor was in speech communication. But I learned very on that I am not a public speaker. I am a preacher, and I thank God that He has called me to preach. That does not mean that I should not refine my speaking skills, my public speaking skills. Nevertheless, I don't title myself a public speaker. I am a preacher, and so whenever I'm called upon to speak, I get a little nervous. But I just got a text, and they're telling me to come back. So wait right there. I'm coming back. They're telling me to come back.
We'll see if she's over her screen now, right?
I'm back.
Nope. On behalf of the committee, we want to say congratulations. You are moving toward graduation in December, and we're really proud of who you are, of what you've done. Very, very pleased with everything that you've presented. The way you've done it, the work that you've done, congratulations. You've done a wonderful job.
Absolutely. Good job, good work, and congratulations, Yolanda.
Congratulations.
Thank you. May I say thank you, especially to Dr. Kennard and Dr. Town. Not Dr. Kennard, well, not Dr. Kennard, but I really thank you, Dr. Kennard. But I've got to say thank you so much to Dr. Town and Dr. Schumann. I want to confess this, Dr. Schumann, at one point of our intensive, I was a little conflicted by some of the comments you would make in class about the faith walk in ministry. And I kind of felt like, man, is this guy trying to tell us that we don't need to go to church? I love his teaching. I love his spirit. I love his approach. But some comments that you made just had me walking away from class thinking, I'm not sure he's helping my walk with Christ. But this pandemic and not being in the church walls, I have to reflect back on the words that caused me the conflict in your class. And the Lord showed me that you were right on, that Yolanda, you got to stop thinking traditionally. You are the church. And it's about your faith walk every day. And so thank you, Dr. Schumann. And Dr. Town, man, you are not man, but lady. Thank you for just being such a sweetheart. Thank you for your patience. I know we went back and forth on this paper. So just thank you for just helping me. And so I'm the person who never desired to be a woman preacher because I didn't believe in women preachers. That was against my faith tradition. I'm the girl who made C's in class and loved to laugh and joke, and just to pass was good enough for me. But I know the Lord has led me to where I am now, and I'm just excited about this journey. I didn't get this degree to say I'm a doctor. I got this degree because I needed the Lord to show me that I can do anything that He gives me vision to do, because it's not about me alone, but it's about His Spirit leading me. And so thank you to Houston Graduate School of Theology. You helped me on my personal journey and my educational journey as well. So thank you.
Well, it's a blessing to me when I can go back and forth with a student and the student will say, oh yes, I'll do that. Thank you. I'll get that right back to you, instead of, oh man, you're making me work more. Yeah. But I know you can do it. I've seen you can do it, and you have really You've worked very diligently and very, very hard on this report, and I do appreciate it. You've done everything that's been asked of you with a beautiful spirit, and that just makes my day.
Mhm.
Thank you. And no more dark nights of the soul trying to get homework done.
Nope.
Thank you.
Stay on for just a minute with me, and we'll talk about the steps, and we'll let the committee members go.
Okay.
But thanks.
Thank you, Yolanda. Well
Thank
done.
you. Thank you.
Great
Thank you.
job.
Thank you. God bless you. Woo!
Hi, woohoo!
I know. I'm such a crybaby. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that.
No, beautiful. So it doesn't look like anybody has any changes here of anybody having any formatting changes or anything that they caught.
Okay.
Step is going to be to send it to the form reader.
Okay.
That's Dr. Pitts.
Okay.
So we'll need to print out a copy in a 3-hole binder.
Okay.
You'll have to watch it as it's printing.
Mm-hmm.
Word, sometimes it gets the spacing messed up.
Okay.
And so what I would do is I would do 10 pages and take a look.
Okay.
Make sure it was good. Do the next 10 pages.
Okay.
I'm going to do it. If you're going to do it at home, that's easy to do. If you're going to do it, like turn it to Kinko's or something, it's a little more difficult, but you'll just want to watch for that. Although, if there's a space or two, that'll give him something to do. The next thing would be to find a way to connect with him to either mail it or hand it off to him.
Okay.
Or in fact, I can do that. I can ask him about it and see if he wants me to mail it to him. And then he'll probably want to hand it back off to you somehow.
Okay.
But we'll let him get through that and see.
Okay.
But if you'll just start with the printing and the 3-hole binder, that helps him. What his job is, he'll check every footnote against every bibliographical entry. He checks every comma, every period. And Dr. Pitts, eagle eyes, he'll find something I missed. I just know it.
Okay.
So that's just so the final report, when we get it bound, is just as perfect as we can get it.
Okay.
That'll be a good process.
So I'll print that. And so do I get his address from you, or do I just email it to HGST or what?
Let me see if it's okay. I'll send you his address.
Okay.
And, then you can just mail it directly to him.
Okay.
I think that'd be probably better.
Okay.
And then I'll get back in touch with you and we'll figure out how to get it back, because then you'll want to make the corrections he has.
Okay.
Time. So that's pretty good.
Okay.
After he's done and you've made those corrections, I don't need to see it again. That will be the time to print it onto cotton paper, at least 20%, pure white cotton paper. That way it doesn't yellow over time.
Okay.
Holes punched, just the cotton paper. And do you know if you ordered any extras?
Of my whole project?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure. I don't know.
If you just did what was on the form for the one fee, then you'll need to print 2 copies on cotton. One
Okay.
will be for the library, one will be for you.
Okay. Okay. So you say 20% cotton, white.
Yeah, it can be more than that. It's just not less than that.
Okay, I'm making a note so I won't forget. I have a short memory. Okay.
But that'll be after he sends it back and we make whatever changes we need for there. So if you have any questions about what he's commented on, feel free to talk to me about that before you make the changes.
Okay.
He talks to me as he's doing it, but I sure don't remember anything, but who knows, sometimes he'll find something. And one period in the wrong place can change everything in a chapter.
Okay.
Well, sometimes it's better if it moves things over and it's goofy looking, to do a little editing in the page or something. So
Okay.
we'll just watch it and see what happens.
Okay. So I'll get the printing of the project done, and I'll just wait for you to send me the instructions on how to email it or how to get it to him.
Okay, perfect. And I'll email him now and see how he wants that handled. What part of town are you in?
I live in Katy.
He's in Cyprus.
Okay.
That's not too bad.
And if he wants me to drop it off or whatever, just let me know and I will.
Yeah, because if he's working from home, it might be cheaper probably just to run it over there.
Okay. And he wrote the forward of one of my books, so I think he'll be comfortable with me. So just let me know.
And when he's done, he'll probably be comfortable just contacting you and figuring out a place to meet, drop it off. So yeah, he's good with that.
Okay. Okay.
But yeah, go ahead, print. I'll send your final page to the registrar. I don't know, there is a final processing fee so that we can take care of the person who does the reading.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a little, trying to think where that is. It's a form. I can't remember. I don't know if you're billed for it or if it's a form.
Okay.
In the new system. I'll have to find out about that. It's $200.
Okay.
Be the last of all fees.
Okay. Okay.
So I'll find out about that.
Okay.
Good job.
Thank you. Whew. All right. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you so much.
Well, I figure you will too. I hope you're going to go celebrate with somebody.
And I have to breathe first.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. God bless you.
As well.
Okay. Bye-bye. They're telling me to come back.
We'll see if she's over her screen now, right?